All right, 7 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Wow, what a good morning we've had so far, and it looks like it's going to continue. Our next guest has written a book that you will pay attention to, unless, of course, you're happily married. Then you might say, yeah, I don't think I need this one.
You never know.
Michael Bastien is on the phone. He has written a book called The Common Sense Clicker Guide to Online Dating. Mr. Bastien is a graduate of the George Washington University, where he obtained a degree in psychology, a master's degree in information systems. He's an expert in the Internet, and he's been part of several startup ventures over the past decade. He's been studying the online dating process since its inception. And one more thing before I go to him, in my intro, I've decided to tell you about Doug. Doug, if you're listening, is our good friend. Many of you know him. He comes on the air with us now and then. And I'll never forget the time we were driving through, I think it was McDonald's, doesn't matter. And he looks at the girl in the window and he says to me, I think I saw her on speeddating.com, speeddating.com, or whatever he called it. And I said, oh, let me ask her. And he goes, no, don't ask her.
Well, sure, you got to be honest.
He wants to know. So a lot of people are doing this. I think on my mom's block there was a lady who recently was married, and she married the guy she met online. So it's working for some people. Let's find out about this. The Guide to Online Dating. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning. How are you?
Very good. Where are you calling from?
I'm in Gaithersburg, Maryland.
Are you married?
I am single.
You're single?
Yep, single and happy.
So do you use online dating?
Yes, I do. I've done online dating for the past several years, and I've had a lot of maturing myself to do over these years. So, as I say in my book, I've taken the time to get to know myself and know what I'm looking for, and so I'm finally ready to get out there and start doing this myself again.
Okay, so from a psychologist's point of view, help me understand the differences between what a woman is looking for with a computer dating site and what a man is looking for.
Both are looking for similar things, but slightly going about it in a different way. Women are usually looking for a relationship online, and I say that with a broad generalization, of course. Men are often looking for a relationship, but they're more willing to have a good time in between their next relationship than a woman might be. So oftentimes when a man is online, he might be willing to meet somebody he finds just physically attractive and see how things go, whereas a woman might be a little bit more picky in terms of who she decides to go on her first date with.
Okay, so this is the kind of dating where it actually becomes a real in-person dating, not just looking at somebody and communicating on the Internet, and it never goes farther than that.
That's correct. This dating is made especially for people who want to end up meeting in person, getting to know that person, and potentially marrying.
I saw a comic the other day, I guess I saw it online actually, and it was a one-panel comic, and it showed me on Facebook and me in reality. And me on Facebook looked like Superman. Me in reality was slouching in an easy chair with a big belly. Okay, so, I mean, is the same thing happening on the dating sites?
Sometimes it happens, but actually more often than not, it's the opposite. On the dating sites, what I've noticed and when I've done interviews with other singles is that a lot of people don't take enough time to put up a picture that actually is flattering of them. No one's asking you to be dishonest, but you should try to put something up there that shows you at your best. And a lot of times people will put up a picture that is taken with a webcam or in a darkly lit area, and it's really not sufficient, especially to make up for the fact that you're not meeting in person, where you can pick up on so many other visual cues from that potential mate.
Before the Internet, when the classified section of the newspaper had a personals column, and I guess they still do, I don't know, we had an interview actually with somebody who said he knew how to be a specialist in that. And he said, for the men, look at what the women are advertising and word your ad like what they're looking for. In other words, whether you like long walks on the beach or not, put it down.
Yeah.
And I said, really? I mean, how come men and women can't be different? Do men really want long walks on the beach? And do women really want long walks? I don't know anybody who actually wants a long walk on the beach.
Right.
Not me even.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of times when someone's online and they're trying to set up their profile or address somebody that they want to meet, they think that customizing themselves to that person is the right answer to finding true love. And really, what you want to do is be as honest about what you like to do, be honest about what you look like, be honest about what you're looking for, so that you can truly attract that right person instead of trying to customize yourself to them, and then 2-3 weeks down the line or even later, you find out that you're not a good match.
Do you think age has a lot to do with it for the people that go on those online dating venues? Do you think they might be 40 and greater than that?
Oh, sure. There's a lot of people that are of any age group online these days, and it's really quite wonderful because oftentimes after a divorce or even after college, you're not in that same social group that you used to be, and it's very difficult to meet someone of the opposite sex. So online allows you to really reach out there and meet somebody that you might not have otherwise met at the grocery store or at the happy hour.
Are there any truths in the stereotypes? And the two stereotypes are men are looking for sex, women are looking for money?
Well, there's truths to an extent. Men as a species or part of our species are geared towards wanting and able to have more, shall I say, relationships on their own, and women are tending to look for more of a classic relationship. But that's really changing a lot as our society has been changing. There's sites out there now that are set up specifically for people who want to have just sort of a short-term relationship, and there's plenty of men and plenty of women on those sites.
Really? Are there sites just for the women who are looking for money?
Yeah, there are a lot of those out there.
So the book is, I mean, the serious part of this is that this book is really to kind of cut some of that out, so that you, as a lady, you're not going to find some guy who's just a womanizer, and as a man, you're not going to find some woman who's really not interested in anything more than what you earn or how much money you've got in the bank. So do you guide the reader toward the best choices? Like, what are some, like, I can't think of the names of them anymore. I just don't know the names of the website. But I know, sometimes like on Facebook, there'll be a little ad on the side, and it'll say for Christian singles or for Jewish singles. It's almost like there are some websites that are catering to one demographic.
That's correct. There are a lot of websites that cater specifically to your religion, to your body type, even to your ethnic choice in dating. And I always recommend a site that has a wide variety of people. Match.com is a good site. It has a whole lot of members in most of the states. And when I recommend sites to people or recommend methods of finding sites, I always tell people to search your local area, see how many prospective mates you might have in your area so that you can make a rational decision as to whether or not you might have enough potential people to go through and to meet.
You had brought up the term friends with benefits on here when people go on the online dating scene. Is that first and foremost in their mind, or is that secondary?
It depends on the person who's doing the searching. Some people are looking more for a friends with benefits situation, whereas a lot of people online, I would say the majority of people, let's say on a Match.com, are looking for a long-term relationship. But as I said before, oftentimes men might be a little more open to a friends with benefit relationship as they're looking for a long-term relationship.
Oh my goodness! on the journey. Yeah, a few rest areas on the journey. All right, let's take a couple of calls from some listeners. H. Michael Bastien is our guest. He's written The Common Sense Clicker Guide to Online Dating. It's a small book, but he's got a lot of credentials behind him. He's a psychologist, and he's got a master's degree in information systems. So you know both ends. I mean, you know the psychology of this and the whole computer part of this. So this is a natural for you to write about. Good morning. You're on the air with Michael Bastien.
Good morning, Larry and Robin. I'm a friend of yours, too, and as you know, I also met and married my husband on Match.com.
Yeah, that's right.
My husband was on Match for years, and when we decided to get married, he said, I need to write a letter of apology to Match, because he dated so many women, and some of those women out there gave the rest of us a little bad name.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Kind of skanky.
Oh, really?
Gold diggers, or just in it for the sex, or just, not really, just
Well, give me that second list. That second list I want.
I got rid of it. Sorry.
I'm just teasing. So,
but I met lots of nice men, but some of them did also have their own agendas as well.
So how did you decide? I mean, how did you wade your way through them? How did you know who the creeps were and who the real guys were?
The creeps were the ones who said, "Let's exchange body part photographs."
Okay.
That was sort of an obvious thing.
That's a clue, yeah.
Yeah, that's a clue. And not that they're necessarily creeps, but if they didn't bother to take the time or the effort to fill out really basically anything from a profile point of view, and you're not going to tell me anything about yourself, no.
That's
but
interesting.
My current husband, obviously when they didn't know him, I read his profile, and he didn't wink or nod or poke or any of those things that you can do online. And I wrote him an email and said, you didn't, wink or poke or any of that kind of stuff that you can make of these little half-hearted gestures online. But I read your profile, and just speaking as a woman, I thought your profile was very well done. It really tells me a lot about the kind of person you are. I'm sure you'll make somebody very, very happy. And he immediately wrote back and said, the only reason why I didn't make contact with you at all was because you said you were looking for someone in this, area within a certain mile range, and I am in Orlando, and I'm a little bit further out than that.
Okay, well, so he was just being
history.
genuine. He was just being genuine and really looking for somebody.
Yes.
So it worked out for both of you.
Right.
All right.
And I know other people who have been dating long-term or have gotten married via eHarmony or Match.com or something like that. And it's just a nicer, safer place if you're smart than going to bars and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. All right. Hey, thanks, Jan.
Yep, bye-bye.
Yeah, I had forgotten that that Jan is a friend of ours, and I didn't forget she was a friend, but I forgot that she and her husband, I think his name is Greg, right? Is it Greg?
Yes,
is it
yes,
Greg?
Greg.
I forgot that they had done that. So it sounds like she knew. I guess a woman who's been around any length of time knows the creeps from the good guys, right?
That's correct. I would say that your guest hit the nail right on the mark. I'd actually like to hire her to do some spokesperson jobs for my book. That's a perfect example because when you meet somebody online, their genuineness can be shown through their profile. If they've taken the time to set that up, if they've taken the time to put the pictures up, and then when they respond to you, you can judge how somebody's going to interact with you in person, how they interact with you online. So if they're polite and respectful, you can somewhat expect that to happen when you meet them in person.
Answer this question. I've always wondered about this part of this whole procedure. If you're going to be totally honest, and you're a man and you're going to pretend, well, I'm not really interested in sex, that's not very honest, right?
Yeah.
So you should, shouldn't there be some honesty in there? So, well, I'm looking for a wife, but hey, if you're going to be a wife that's going to just leave me alone all the time, I don't want that either.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
the other side of the coin is if you're a woman and you're looking for some kind of security, somebody who's going to take care of you. Good morning, sir. We have a window here.
I like windows.
Just so you know, Michael. But anyway, what was I saying? So she should be able to say, I don't want somebody who's out of work who's going to be mooching off of me. She should be able to say that without a guy thinking, just as he should be able to say, look, I'm a man. I got everything that comes with a man. It becomes, and you should expect that of me, right?